Hi everybody, today we are going to paint some still water landscapes. And for that we will need large format paper, pencil, eraser, sharpener, acrylic paint, mixing palette, large brushes, palette knife, water, cloth, masking tape, and a sponge. So, before we begin, if you are new to paint in water, here's a simple trick. Focus on lines. Imagine the water in your landscape and start with lines. The farther you go, the thinner and closer together they will appear. And as they come closer to the viewer, they become thicker, larger, and more spaced apart. When painting from an overhead view, keep in mind that water ripples. So the same principle applies, okay? Ripples near the subject are finer and more defined. And as they extend outward, they become larger and more spaced apart. A great way to start is by using a simple kitchen sponge. Lightly soak it in water, apply some paint, and spread it using the same principles you used with the lines and circles. You can achieve the same effect with a brush. Just remember, the closer the lines are, the thicker they will appear. When painting anything above waterline, you need to add subtle reflections. Just blend small amounts of the subject's color into the ripples and waves, and you can call it a day. Okay, so for our first painting, I'll use masking tape to reserve an area for the sun, but this is optional. Today, I'm working with acrylics on large format paper. Keep in mind that the texture that you get depends much on the kind of paint that you use, the texture of the surface you are painting on, as well as the technique that you are going to be applying to your composition. Acrylics on canvas can grant a very smooth effect just with a brush. But because we are painting on paper, we will use a sponge to get a smooth texture. For this first piece, I have marked my lines, but this is totally optional. The sun is painted in a darker shade initially to serve as an undertone. Once it's dry, and acrylics dry very fast, I'll layer white over it to achieve the desired color. I prefer warm tones, so even though the sky and water will be blue, I am adding yellow, the same that I used for the sun, to make it all warmer. I will apply a final coat of yellow once everything is dry to unify the warmth of the painting. I am aware that I have a thick accent, and this is why I tend to speak nearly word by word. Nonetheless, if you still find it hard to understand, I added subtitles to all the exercises. Also, there are timestamps to make it easier for you to locate a particular point in the videos. Now let's try another piece using the same technique. I'm going to accelerate the video just for the sake of making it shorter, but this time I've included small silhouettes to represent people. And once finished, I add a warm yellow glaze to maintain harmony within the colors. Next, let's give our composition some more elements. I start with a pale blue base, and using only this sponge, we can create a soft and even texture. This is very satisfying. Once again, acrylic paint dries very fast. While there are ways to keep it moist for longer, we won't focus on that today. Just be aware that once acrylic dries, it is nearly impossible to blend further. For our next piece, we'll paint a boat floating on a lake. Once again, I use a sponge to evenly spread the paint and achieve a smooth finish. I like to add some small details to create interest in large formats. Here, I'm adding some little birds. Okay, now let's try one more. This time we'll paint the shore as seen from above. Using a sponge, I maintain a smooth texture. To create waves, I apply white paint and I keep one side very sharp and the other side blended with water. The floating person ended up slightly larger than intended, but that's okay. Okay, so now our last exercise for today, and this is my favorite of what we've done today. It features a couple of people on the beach. The majority of the composition is this sandy yellow with a thin strip that seamlessly blends the ocean into the sky. We add a few white accents to mimic breaking waves and the two tiny figures to complete the scene. And here are the results of today's exercise. I hope you found this helpful and inspiring. And remember, painting is always simpler than it seems. The hardest part is just getting started. As always, keep on practicing and thank you for joining us.